Okay, so it's day 56 of my weight loss journey and taking back my health. And I managed to reverse my prediabetes. My my arm is sore from this faucet, so couldn't really do my hair that well today, but at least I got something done. The faucet's fixed. So, I was talking a little bit yesterday about how I got overweight. And, I don't think it's good to spend too much time going over why, but sometimes it's helpful to understand your patterns, your history, your way of thinking, because you have to change an entire lifestyle to lose the weight and keep it off. You can't just be oblivious. And I talked in other videos about Kirstie Alley. She's just like this revolving door of Jenny Craig. She can afford it, you know. So she goes in and loses weight, gains it back, and goes in and loses weight, gains it back. I that's not for me. It's not good for your heart or your health either, the yo-yo dieting. And I think that when you go into one of those programs, when you kind of give away your power and someone else is doing your thinking for you, someone else is cheerleading you and telling you what to eat and providing your meals for you, you're not really addressing the core issues of how you put on the weight. What are the bad habits that you have that led to the weight gain? It's usually a mix of psychological factors and physical factors and habits and situations that you're in, but you need to be aware of what they are so you can change it. I was working as a consultant at one company and years ago, and somebody was always bringing in donuts and cakes and cookies, and they were being kind. They were thinking, well, I want to give my coworkers a treat. We work hard. Sometimes it's stressful. So I want to do something nice. And what's the quickest, easiest thing to do is to bring in some kind of treat. Most women are usually watching their weight or trying to diet or trying to lose weight. So it was really difficult for me and some others who had weight issues to withstand that, because you're in a meeting and everybody's eating and you could smell these delicious carbs and you probably ran out of the house to get to work on time without eating, and it felt like impossible to overcome that. It's not, but that's what it feels like. And so you have to learn how to deal with those things. And I was guilty as well, because then, of course, you want to reciprocate. I did try to not go so much for the donuts because, like, everybody knows donuts are bad for you. I used to bring in bagels. I used to go and get bagels of nice variety, including the everything one with whole grain and cream cheese. A lot of gluten, which is just like sugar, but I felt like at least it had some protein. There goes that rationalization again. If it's got to be junk food, make it healthy junk food, as if there really is such a thing. Um, so, I'm not trying to put the blame on other people. I did it too. I was just as guilty. But you have to have a change of mindset. Now, when I want to do something nice for someone, I take them flowers. I used to bake them a cake or make them a pie because I think that is very, oh, it's very instinctive, like you want to nurture someone that's been done a kindness for you and nurtured your soul and your spirit and your feelings. You want to nurture them back. And what's the quickest way? Well, to make them something delicious to eat. And it's so easy to do. You stop and get some donuts, you stop and buy them a cake from a bakery, you take them a bunch of cupcakes, or in my case, I bake them a pie from scratch. I guess that's a little bit better because I used to bake apple pies. I make the crust from scratch with organic flour and organic butter, and I cut up a bunch of apples. I don't really have time for that anymore, but at least it was some real fruit in there. But again, that's kind of, I did put some sugar and spices, and the crust was not healthy, but it was so easy to do, and it was really very much appreciated. But I have had a change of my thinking. Diabetes is an epidemic. I mean, I can't say that strongly enough. I mean, we shouldn't be, people eat enough sugar and have enough temptation and have enough junk food available to them without us, in an effort to do something kind and generous, bringing them more. So in the last 5 years, that's what I've gotten the habit of doing. I want to do something nice for someone, I take them flowers, men or women, because flowers are about nature and, God's creation. And I think anybody would like to see them and smell them. I don't have the situation to take men flowers that often, but I have. When someone's done something very kind for me and I want to say thank you, I get a thank you card and some flowers. And women love flowers that I've seen. That's been my experience. I mean, I have some friends that I've given flowers to, and they're like, wow, nobody's given me flowers in like 10 years. And it makes me feel really good because I've given them something that uplifts their spirits, cheers them up, and doesn't put any weight on them and doesn't impact their health except positively. I know some people are allergic to flowers, but you know, if they do, they can give them away or they could tell me. Most people aren't allergic to that many flowers I've seen. Not as many people as are allergic to foods, because then you have some people that have nut allergies and all kinds of things. So you have less problem with allergies with flowers. So anyway, that's just my little tip of the day. But that is a difficult thing to deal with, food everywhere. So if I were to work in an office setting again and people were bringing in the donuts and cupcakes, whatever, I'd bring my raw almonds. I'd have some protein that's low carb, something to chew, and just not focus on that. And then to reciprocate, I'd bring in a vase of flowers. And I remember one time, and I'll make this quick, I took some flowers to one of my mom's cardiologists. She's just a beautiful, sweet person and an excellent doctor. And I just had to find a way to say thank you. I don't think enough people say thank you to doctors for all they do, because they do charge a lot of money and sometimes it hurts to pay it. But they work really hard, and some of them are so dedicated to helping people. I think it's important, along with your payment, to say thank you. So I took her a bouquet of daffodils with the thank you card and a letter of why I was so appreciative for what she had done. And when my mom had a follow-up appointment, she told me, she said, you know what? You started a trend, because I took the flowers that you gave me and I put it on the front desk so that I could share that beautiful smell and that beautiful color with the patients and my staff. And when they started to die, people were really sad. So now I bring in flowers once a week. So I have you to thank for that. And everyone's in a more cheerful mood, and it's really changed things. So, and I'm not doing that to toot my own horn. I'm just saying that be creative in finding ways to do nice things for people, because it's just not good to, tempt people that are trying to lose weight or make people sick that have diabetes or pre-diabetes like I did. It's just insidious, this culture of sugar. It's really, really a problem. And I make it a point not to add to it, even at potlucks. I'm invited to quite a lot of them. I live like in a small town, so I have a lot of friends that's kind of how we do entertaining, because that way it's not a big burden on any one person, and it's nice to see everyone's talents. And I usually take something healthy. Like I take deviled eggs a lot of time and I make them very pretty and I buy fresh dill to put in it. And I'll give you another tip. Instead of mayonnaise, I use cream cheese. One little box of cheese, or not the little, but you know the regular square, I think it's 8 ounces of cream cheese for a dozen eggs. And fresh dill, and they're delicious. They're like creamy. It's like a really nice treat. And they're always gone. I never have any left, and it's hard for me to even get one. And I bought a very pretty tray for them. It's very nice. It's two-tiered. And I pipe it in with a little Wilton bag so it's like all decorative because my point is you can make healthy food look pretty and appetizing and taste good. It doesn't have to be that the healthy food is like the ill, and the junky food is like the yum. You can make healthy food be really yummy in your mouth and for your eyes. And then I cut little sprigs of fresh dill and stick it in every egg. And then I sprinkle some paprika over it. These are just little changes that I've done over the last few years to be ready for this point. And I think it's important to kind of look over your life and your lifestyle choices and your habits and kind of see where you can get away from that culture of sugar. If you're invited to a potluck, take a fruit salad that you don't put any junky dressings in. No more yogurt dressings because yogurt has dye and sugar and all kinds of things. Just take some fresh, ripe fruit and take it. Or you can do something like the deviled eggs, or you can do like a meat and vegetable dish. Um, there's just the possibilities are endless, but just try to look at your life and see where the temptations lie. If there's a fast food place on your way home from work, maybe try a different route. Maybe have a snack in your car that you eat as soon as you get to the car before you even drive home. I've done that. I've had like some food that I left in my car, and when I came out of the office, I would eat that while I was sitting in the car before I even drove home past this restaurant. Just kind of take note of where your temptations lie and try to plan for it. That's what I found to be the most successful. So today was a difficult day. I shared yesterday I did exchange the faucet, but I still have work to do. Like I have to caulk it. It's a lot more involved and difficult than I at first thought. Like I had to unscrew, well, my daughter had to do that. The water lines and get the tape that makes it waterproof because it's dripping a little bit. I had to go to the hardware store and tell them the problem, and they told me what to get, the solution. So they also told me about the caulking, and I haven't caulked it yet. So we still really don't have a usable sink and faucet. I mean, we've done some dishes quickly and carefully, but I could see water collecting down there. So today was another difficult eating day that I made work. I had some of that. I don't know if you remember that peanut butter cake that I made. It's with peanut butter flour and gluten-free flour and stevia. And it really wasn't that good. And sitting in the fridge for like a week, it's got really hard. And I don't know if you could see that liquid that is swimming in. It's milk. I was trying to make my quickie version of tres leches cake. And that's a traditional Mexican dessert. It's a cake with three kinds of milk, with whole milk, evaporated milk, and sweetened condensed milk. And of course, I don't do the sweetened condensed milk because I don't do sugar. So I just got a can of evaporated milk, a little can, and poured some in there with water. It did make it taste a lot better because it moistened it up. It was really dry. I had that for breakfast. Um, in my defense, it had, well, not my defense, my rationalizations. It didn't have sugar or gluten. And I was thinking, well, it has an egg in it and it has peanut flour, which is high in protein. It is. And it has some fiber. and I was in a rush because went to the hardware store. I had a doctor's appointment and I wanted to get the faucet done. And then for lunch, which is my main meal of the day, I went to a little taco place. I've gone there before for the college, and I love to go there because it's very healthy, like organic, made from scratch. And I split it with my daughters. A lot of food. I'm just not a very big eater, but I got some steak, some beans, some rice, some sweet potatoes that they put no sugar in, no marshmallows, not a casserole. It's just kind of boiled sweet potatoes with some butter and salt and some queso cheese and some onions. I don't know if you could see it, and some salsa and some corn salsa. And none of it is sweet. And then some sour cream and spinach. And that is half of it. That's when I already put half from my daughter in the plate. I I was kind of stressful. I really don't have an appetite. I ate less than half of that. That was the plate that I served myself, but I ate less than half. I just wasn't hungry. And then for my third meal of the day, um, I had a family member come over and I was showing them the sink that I did, and they very kindly offered to take me out to dinner for my third meal because I was a little frustrated. I didn't get the sink done, and they were trying to be supportive of my sugar and gluten-free eating because I didn't my daughter wanted to order pizza and I didn't want to order pizza and wings again because it made me sick. So we went somewhere and I wasn't that hungry again because I was just, kind of stressed out. So I got this salad and I ate some of it. That's in the to-go container with the blue cheese dressing. So I really didn't eat that much. I kind of picked at it. I didn't eat that much today. I was just kind of stressful. So I'm going to eat that tomorrow, the rest of it. And I asked for extra tomatoes and onions and a little extra cheese instead of the croutons, and they did do that. So there's no croutons in there. It's just lettuce, cheese, tomato, onion, and blue cheese dressing. Um, I don't know if it has sugar in it. I don't taste anything sweet, and that's the lowest sugar dressing traditionally that I've seen. It's not like a Thousand Island, or I guess there's so many other sweet dressings. Sweet Vidalia onion, those all have sugar in them. A lot of vinaigrettes have sugar in them. So I kind of tried to get the dressing that I thought had the least amount of sugar. This is their house dressing. They made it from scratch. So I know that prepared dressings, like 99% of them, or 99.9% of them have sugar. So I got that. So, it's hopefully not too bad. I'm going to eat that for my main meal of the day tomorrow, and I may boil some eggs and put some hard-boiled eggs in there for a little extra protein. That's a really good, simple way to make a salad a complete meal. I do try to stay away from processed meat like turkey and other things like that. I have cut up a steak and put some of that in a salad, but I'm trying to watch my saturated fat. I would like to get to the point where I don't eat any animal flesh. And I'm going to use that as a stepping off point to become mostly vegan. None of my doctors are in favor of that because they say vegans end up eating a lot of carbs, eating fruit, and um, they all think that I should always include fish and eggs in my diet. And I think that's what I'm going to be moving toward. I would like to cut out dairy eventually, but I'm just beginning. And if I go too far in the other direction, have a diet plan that's too stringent and Spartan, it's going to be miserable to stay on it. So right now I'm doing no sugar, no gluten, and that's a big step for me. I'm still eating meat and I'm still eating dairy. But these are goals that I am going to continue to work toward during my journey because my weight loss is pretty slow and it's stalled right now. So I might try a couple days of being vegan during the week and see how that goes. So that's how my day went. I hope that everyone's day went well. I hope you can learn something from some of my mistakes or just get encouragement. And some of you have left comments. I appreciate it so much because, we encourage each other and it's a comfort to know that we're not alone. So, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.